nice to kind of close it out, or yeah. And how many interludes, like how many spoken bits are you doing? Something and then right, working outwards in. I got you. Thank you.
One more test. Hello, hello, hello.
I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. You used to rock me in the cradle of your arms. You said you'd hold me till the pains of life were gone. You said you'd comfort me in times like these, and now I need you, and now I need you, and you are gone. I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. Since you've gone and left me, there's been so little beauty, but I know I saw it clearly through your eyes. Now the world outside is such a cold and bitter place. Here inside I have a few things that will console, and when I try to hear your voice above the storms of life, then I remember all the things I was told. I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes.
Come into our house of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. Come in where we welcome the certain and the seeking, the long-timers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted. All of you can find a home here at Throop, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena and from the heart of our homes. We welcome our friends joining us on live stream today. In worship, we continue our February theme of looking for love. And today we'll explore how love shows up in some of the unlikeliest times of our lives. If you're new to Throop today, we would love to stay in touch with you, and you can fill out the info card. You'll find that in the pew right in front of you. If you're joining online, we have an online guest book, and Taryn can put that into the live stream chat. Each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with the flame from our candles of hope and witness with words from Carol Hayward. Let us celebrate the possibilities of life. We come alive and prosper spiritually only in shared resistance to all that thwarts life's promise. We draw a story of community and suffering, faithfulness and betrayal, a story of life generating life, of creation and destruction, birth and death, yearning and struggling, for bread and justice. Let us celebrate the possibilities of love. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop was once, and is still, the home of the Gabrielino Tongva Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into seeking justice and equity for all. We light a third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of these in our hearts.
And we welcome the morning with our welcoming hymn. It's 347, Gather the Spirit, and please rise as body and spirit allow, number 347.
again.
We take a moment and turn to our neighbors and welcome them into worship.
Gather the spirit of heart and mind. Seeds for the sowing are laid in store. Nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and led by the sun. Winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again.
Our responsive reading this morning is Choose to Bless the World by Rebecca Parker. And the congregation will respond with the words, love us into fullness, strength, and grace. Love us into fullness, strength, and grace. Choose to bless the world. The choice to bless the world is more than an act of will, a moving forward into the world with the intention to do good. Love us into fullness, strength, and grace. It is an act of recognition, a confession of surprise, a grateful acknowledgement that in the midst of a broken world, unspeakable beauty, grace, and mystery abide. Love us into fullness, strength, and grace. None of us alone can save the world. Together, that is another possibility. Love us into fullness, strength, and grace. We love each other into fullness, strength, and grace by being part of this Throop community. And we share some sad news today. Our dearly beloved Throop member and friend, Tom Hawkins, died on February 15th at his home in Glendale. And each time we lose a Throop member, we share in a ritual of remembrance, marking that they will no longer be with us. And today, to help with this ritual, I've asked two of Tom's very close friends, Brad Wallace and Charles Jacobson, to help. We mourn the loss of Tom, and as a congregation, we send our love out to Tom's family and to those who were part of his very close circle of care and love. We'll announce details as soon as we can about a celebration of life for Tom. And this morning we pause here in our service to remember all that was Tom's life. And symbolizing that memory, Brad lights a candle from our chalice. We will no longer hear Tom's voice. We won't feel the touch of his hands. We won't come into church on Sunday and see Tom out in the drought vegetable garden, grinning as widely as he can as he holds an impossibly gigantic winter squash. As George said to me this morning, a mutual friend said of Tom, the earth will miss him, and so will we. We extinguish the flame from our chalice to mark Tom's physical death. Tom's spirit lives on in the hearts and minds of all who knew him so well. And from our chalice flame that we lit earlier from our community candles of hope and witness, Brad now lights a candle that symbolizes all that was Tom's life, all the love he shared, and the light from Tom's life that will go on and live within each one of us. In mystery we are born, in mystery we live, in mystery we die.
Abide with me, fast falls the eventide. this death's sting, where grave thy victory. I triumph still if thou abide with me. I triumph still if thou abide with me.
Amen. Thank you, Megan. Well, our story this morning is called Love Dogs, and Terry Trindler will share this tale with us.
This lesson is Love Dogs by Jalaluddin Rumi. One night a man was crying out, Allah, Allah, and his lips grew sweet with the praising until he heard a cynic say, so I've heard you calling out, but have you ever gotten a response? And the man had no answer to that, so he quit praying and fell into a confused sleep. He dreamed he saw Kadir, the guide of souls, in a thick green foliage, and Kadir asked him, why did you stop praising? The man replied, because I've never heard anything back. And Kadir reminded him, this longing you express is the return of your message. The grief you cry out from draws you towards union. Your pure sadness that wants help is the secret cup. Listen to the moan of a dog for its master. The whining is the connection. There are love dogs no one knows the name of. Give your life to one of them.
And each Sunday, our children participate in Kids Dig In. This morning, we thank our program leaders, Paula and Allegra, and the congregation sings them into their program time, and those words are in the order of worship.
For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be.
Our reading this morning comes from Deuteronomy 30. Surely this commandment that I am commanding you today is not too hard for you, nor is it too far away. This word is very near to you. It is in your mouth and in your heart for you to observe. I have set before you today life and prosperity, death and adversity. If you love the Lord your God by walking in God's ways, then you shall live and become numerous, and the Lord your God will bless you. But if your heart turns away and you do not hear, but are led astray, you shall perish. I call heaven and earth to witness against you today that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Choose life so that you and all those you love may live. And we sing into that message of choosing life. Hymn number 6, Just As Long As I Have Breath. And you can remain seated as we sing.
Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I made my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as vision lasts, I must answer yes to truth. In my dream and in my dark, always that elusive spark. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to truth. Just as long as my heart beats, I must answer yes to love. Disappointment pierced me through, still I kept on loving you. If they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love. If they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love.
Each week we get to practice here the art of saying yes to life, yes to truth, yes to love, yes to each other. And we're able to do that because of the many ways you support our Throop community life. You support it through gifts of time and talent and treasure. For those of you able to make a donation today, we thank you so much for that. The ways to give are listed in your order of service or in the live stream chat. If you'd like your donation to be counted toward your pledge, we ask that you use the green offering envelope. If you're a first-time visitor, please let the offering plate pass you by, and the morning offering will now be gratefully received.
What wondrous love is this, oh my soul, oh my soul. What wondrous love is this, oh my soul. What wondrous love is this that brings my heart such bliss and takes away the pain of my soul, and takes away the pain of my soul. When I was sinking down, sinking down, sinking down. When I was sinking down, sinking down. When I was sinking down beneath my sorrow's ground, friends to me gathered round. Oh my soul, friends to me gathered round. Oh my soul, to love and to all friends I will sing, I will sing. To love and to all friends I will sing. To love and to all friends who with pain will sorrow mend, with thanks unto the end I will
In a spirit of gratitude, we lift up those who supported our worship service this morning. Taryn on live stream, Jamal for offering our chalice lighting words, Terry for sharing the story, Melanie and Teresa for being greeters and ushers, Paula and Allegra for running our children's program this morning, Cynthia, our coffee and conversation host, Megan with your always inspiring music, and Hillary for all of your administrative support. As we give thanks for the offering this morning and for all of the ways we support our community life together, we share the response to the offering, and those words are in your order of worship. For the ministries of the church and our community, we bless our offering with love and hope. And a practice of this community is to offer a promise to our planet each Sunday. And as I mentioned earlier when we were remembering Tom's life, a friend said, "The earth will miss Tom," and that surely will be true. And so today, as we share our promise to our planet, I ask that we dedicate these words today to Tom's memory and all he did with his life to ensure a healthier and nurtured climate and planet. As members of the family of living beings on Earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part, with hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources. We promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself. I invite you to take a breath in together, to exhale, to take in a breath, exhale, and to let your heart and mind and body be held by the stillness of this space. Our centering hymn is "Be Thou With Us," number 1039. It's in that teal hymnal. And as we sing into this song, continue to be mindful of your breath and your body.
Be thou with us now and always, now and always. Blessed be. Be thou with us now and always, now and always. Blessed be.
And as we continue to pay attention to our breath, to our bodies, and to feel held by this space, by this community, we share a time of prayer. Breath of life, breath of love. We come to you asking for strength to work for the liberation of our world. So much binds bodies, lives, and hearts, keeping so many from freedom and from full life. Death comes in many forms, choking out flourishing. We grieve what seems at times to be the death of hope. Show us how to love in liberating ways that create more freedom and hope for all. And in our singing, we lift up this world to you with our love.
Be thou with us now and always, now and always. Blessed be.
Breath of life and breath of love, we come asking you for strength to work for the liberation of our communities, of our church. Show us how to love in unfettered ways that create celebrations of life fully lived. Show us how to love in ways that heal and comfort. And in our singing, we lift up this community with our love.
Be thou with us now and always, now and always. Blessed be.
Breath of life and breath of love, we come to you asking for strength to work for the liberation of our relationships. Too often, we are part of the constriction of love. Show us how to love in ways that strengthen our bonds while also unbinding others from our own limited perspectives, from our own fear. We pause, and in our hearts, we lift up relationships that need our love. And in our singing, we lift up each other with our love.
Be thou with us now and always, now and always. Blessed be.
And breath of life, breath of love, we come to you asking for the strength to work for our own liberation. Help us shed any past mistakes or regrets. Help us know that there is a love holding us so that we can be that love in the world, so that we can be that love in our communities, and we can be that love in the lives that we intersect with each day. And in this singing, we open up ourselves to this love.
Be thou with us now and always, now and always. Blessed be. Be thou with us now and always, now and always. Blessed be.
And for all that is our life, we give our thanks and praise. Amen.
Voice still and small, deep inside all, I hear you call, singing in dark and rain, sorrow and pain.
Earlier this week, several of us met over lunch on the patio here at Throop to talk about our Unitarian Universalist wisdom sources. And on that day, the topic of our conversation was the big words. These big theological terms that structure how we shape our religious community together. One of the big words we discussed is soteriology. Soteriology is the doctrine of salvation, and it's concerned with where salvation comes from and who offers it. Soteriology attempts to answer the question, what endangers us and what saves us? Our discussion group that day included a former Catholic, a former Episcopalian, a Jew by choice, and several of us that are just longtime Unitarian Universalists. And as we talked about salvation, we wondered, as Unitarian Universalists, what exactly are we hoping to be saved from? Universalism was founded in the 18th century with the belief that each and every person is loved by God and that every person will ultimately be saved. Historically, Universalism referred to the universal salvation of all souls. And at the time of our founding, that was a radical notion. In the 18th century, Calvinist thought dominated the landscape, and a part of Calvinist thinking then was the idea of predestination. Predestination is the understanding that at the very beginning of time, God chose a limited number of souls to grant salvation to, and that there is nothing a person can do in their life to alter their eternal fate. So you can imagine at that time when this universalist message of love for all people came into the world, I imagine it was like a drink of water after a long time without. Traditional Christian theology teaches that we are being saved from our sinful nature, and sin is defined as disobedience to God. But as Unitarian Universalists, most of us don't carry that understanding of sin. Universalism teaches that there is a love holding us, and that the only hell that exists is the hell that we humans create, and that heaven becomes what we create here on earth. But again, this question that was asked at our group earlier in the week, what are we being saved from? In our patio discussion, when we pondered this question, one of our group members wisely offered, we save us from ourselves. We save us from ourselves. In the book, A House of Hope, the promise of progressive religion for the 21st century, Unitarian Universalist theologian Rebecca Ann Parker explains the way progressive religions understand salvation. She wrote that human beings need to be saved from the consequences of human sin, not from God's punishing wrath. And it's our human hands that create evil in the world. And salvation comes through the powers of life and love and goodness, and it is present within and around each and every one of us. And it is these, our human hands, that also create great good in the world. Just as we heard in the words from Deuteronomy earlier this morning, set before us are life and prosperity, death and adversity, blessings and curses. Choose life so that you and all that you love can live. Choosing life. Choosing life, that sounds so simple, and isn't that what each and every one of us already did this morning when we woke up? When we dared to get out of bed? When we made that first cup of coffee or tea? When we pulled out our paper to make a to-do list, and when we wandered into this church and found a pew to hold us? Well, we know that choosing life and living life isn't always that simple. And we know that just living life, just doing the bare basics and necessities, we know that that is not the same thing as choosing a life embraced by and infused with love. In her book, All About Love, Bell Hooks writes about soul murder. She says that psychoanalysts use this term to describe a state of living death, a state where everything within us seems still, and we begin to harbor a fear of life. Hooks writes that this fear of life is exacerbated by cultures of domination that court death. These cultures of domination become like the water we swim in. They permeate our lives, and these invisible structures shape the world around us. These cultures of domination are rooted in white supremacy and patriarchy and capitalism. All the isms we know about that serve to dehumanize, that separate us from one another. And the separation is so intense that it stands in the way from us choosing life and love. The resulting isolation causes us to feel like those love dogs from the story today, sad, grieving, yearning, waiting to hear a return message from somewhere, yet unable to hear it. Most of us have experienced a time in our lives when we shut down some essential part of ourselves. We wandered in the wilderness. Our life became less vigorous. We lost our connection with ourselves, with our community, with what we name as the holy and sacred. A part of our soul entered a time of barrenness, and a piece of us died. And when that happens, it feels like we may never find our way back to ourselves again. And it's just this sort of separation from our spirits that we are trying to save ourselves from. Mark Yaconelli, a Christian writer, says that in some indigenous cultures, when a person is feeling dispirited or disconnected, that the community asks the person 4 questions. Where in your life did you stop singing? Where in your life did you stop dancing? Where in your life did you stop telling stories? And where in your life did you stop listening for silence? How about you? Are there areas of your life or pieces of yourself that you have abandoned, that you've let go of, where you have in some way chosen death over abundant life? Every time we say yes to ourselves, love wins. Every time we say yes to ourselves, we support the flourishing of all creation. The spirit of life and love that we revere calls on us to love the world, to love ourselves, to love one another. And our world needs each and every one of you to choose life over death, to choose love over hate, to acknowledge that in the midst of a world that sometimes feels so broken, that we can find unspeakable beauty, grace, and mystery. Say a yes to life and love, and may your life and may your love continue to be a blessing in our world. And we sing into that sense of love and life and blessing. Our closing hymn is 128, For All That Is Our Life. And please rise as your body and spirit allow.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift in which we're called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for house of rest and love to come with praise and praise. For all that is our life, for sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, to come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For our life is a gift which we're called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
Put a hand on your heart and reach a hand out to someone in the room or on the live stream. May we carry the light from this service into the world, and may you continually say a yes to life, a yes to truth, a yes to each other, a yes to yourself. I love you all. Go out and love the world. Amen and blessed be. Please join us for coffee hour.
There's a reason I is in your head. It's a lock without the key to keep believing what you see and said. It's your right to misery. There's a boy inside who wants to get out. There's a man who never sees. There is someone underneath these clothes waiting to be told they're free. You ever get that feeling that the real you is always out of reach, burning in the fire?